the Nigerian genius.
This is UNILAG from UNILAG, and this is day 7 of the Nigerian Genius Design Competition. So today we continued on our project. We made a lot of progress, and we also had a demo session today as a mock for the main presentation tomorrow. So we divided the project, the different aspects of the project among ourselves. We worked on the cars, we worked on the software, I worked on the electronics and embedded systems. And we actually slept over here again yesterday so as to cover as much ground as possible before the demo. And we encountered a lot of issues, but thankfully we were able to solve most of them. First of all, there was the budget constraints to build an AI-powered project to solve insecurity. Due to that budget, we were very particular about the price of products, so we went for the cheapest alternative, and that turned out to be a mistake because apparently the majority of the components we ordered from were faulty. But we've been able to get substitutes, and the project is going on fine now.
For the card aspect, we stayed here overnight, and a number of teams. Well, we only have one 3D printer, and that's constrains what we can do with that. So, but we decided to opt for laser cutting as it's faster. It's faster. It is more. It's cheaper, and it's easier to put together. So that solved some of the problems with the card. Initially wanted to add an additional model for our project, but unfortunately due to the constraints, the manufacturing processes and machinery, decided to just focus on our main product, our main model. The demo was interesting. It was fun seeing how the progress each team had made, how much progress each team had made. But it started okay. We were able to expand on our ideas, our design thinking process. But then when it came to the actual demo itself, unfortunately our system failed. It didn't fail, but was slow to respond, and that affected our presentation and our overall stuff. But hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to iron that out and just do it an adequate depiction of our intellect tomorrow.
Okay, so on the software part, initially, that was the day before yesterday, we started using Edge Impulse as it is a viable option for AI analysis on embedded systems. And then we realized that we needed a lot of data to train the model on so it can be accurate. And we didn't have a lot of time, so we decided to download a pre-trained model, but we had issues uploading that and getting that to work in time. So we opted for the option of labeling it manually. Now, labeling it manually, 3,000 is a very large data set to do, and it's going to consume a lot of time. So we stuck with just 300 data sets and we labeled all that through. And we ran that through the model, we trained it and realized that the accuracy was very low. So it was not something we could move on with. So we had to move entirely away from Edge Impulse and then move on to a more viable option like OpenCV. We are using OpenCV right now. So we're using that, and we're using a two-factor authentication process. So in order to prevent false positives, we wanted it to be a situation where it will detect that someone is moving very fast and someone is if you're just moving now, this is movement, but we wanted something that could be extreme enough to be classified as violence. So in the process of doing that, unfortunately we over-constrained the model. So now it doesn't even detect any movement at all or anything related to violence. So that really affected us during our presentation. Initially the model was too sensitive, was detecting anything as violence, and during the presentation it did not detect anything. So before we went on, it worked as it was supposed to an extent. It was a bit delayed, but it still worked. But during the presentation, absolutely nothing showed up on screen. So we have realized that we need to do a lot of work in that part, and we need to train our model properly and make it identify it and make it keep identifying it during our presentation and after the presentation as well.
Okay, the experience so far has been good. In summary, we spent so we actually had a lot of fun with the other participants, especially.
Yeah.
The classes were good. The
Yeah.
So the lecturers were good as well. I mean, the typical engineering lecturer. They have to force a lot of things into you in a very short amount of time. So, I mean, if you're not traumatized by engineering, you haven't really gone through it. So we are grateful to CIC for this opportunity to meet with like minds, especially because for me that was the greatest impact I get from this competition.
The friends we made along the way.
As my fans, thank you for staying with us throughout the program. We have one more day to go, and the final presentation is tomorrow. So keep sharing and liking our posts, and we'll be sure to come back with the prize.
The Nigerian Genius.